Oh, you're goddamn right. We're here for a Sunday night smash, everybody. What's up? Oh, I'm knocking mics already. There's Ira Schoffel. Cheers, cheers. Hey, so listen. I got to do this. How about them Noles, baby? How about them Noles, baby? Here we go. So listen, I want to do something really quick, Ira. Where is it? Here it is. So I wish you were here at my house, buddy. I want you to look at this. Can you see that?
All right. Little Dos Artes.
Yeah, that's a little Dos Artes right there from California, actually from Mexico. Okay. Now look at how beautiful that is. Like just it's so gorgeous.
It's ornate.
It's ornate.
Yeah.
Good call. It is ornate. My buddy Chris is from California. He flew in to Tallahassee for this game. And he's a diehard Nole. And he said, if you guys win, I love the Sunday Smash so much. I want you and Ira to toast this. Now, I'm just going to brag on you for a second, Chris. That's a 250 bottle of tequila. It's a little bit better than the Don Julio that you might have.
With Don Julio, what it lacks in the
presentation,
it makes up for in the quality of the tequila. See, we don't need all the ornate, like flowery stuff you got going on. I mean, that's what you're paying for. Probably $230 of that bottle is the bottle.
I'm actually paying for the Ira. I'm actually paying for the aging in the process.
Come on, man.
So hold on, my wife. Hold on, here you go, babe. Get this in the camera.
Oh, look at that.
There we go. Hey,
Christy's put. All right, let me get mine. Hold on.
Yeah, get yours. Yeah, there we go.
The Dos Artes is a different color. Is that from the Dos Artes bottle?
This is from the Dos Artes, yes.
And how many different colored tequilas do we have?
A little Dos Artes for that ass.
This is just one Arte. Spoon Arte right here, also known as Don Julio.
So here we go. This is the Dos. Stephen writes, "Hey, Christy." Here we go.
To Manny Diaz.
Oh, fuck them. That's why. Fuck them. Here we go.
All right, here we go. Oh boy, better than with the lemon. I think yours might have been a little smoother.
Oh,
woo.
The Dos Artes. The Dos Artes is good, buddy.
I needed the second Arte. That was my problem.
My wife and I are nodding. She's like, shit, that's good.
She can tell. Christy can tell.
Yeah, she knows. This is, hey, I'm sorry you're drinking. Hey, buddy, I will bring you some of the Dos Artes tomorrow. This is where it's at. This is so good. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, we're in a good mood tonight, everybody.
I should be drinking turpentine over here. What in the world? Woo.
So it is 7:06. Welcome into the Sunday Smash. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, guys, we're in a good mood today. Holy moly. So I don't really want to chase my Dos Artes, but that is from where I'm from.
All right. Tampa's finest.
So you might as well feel a little bit.
I do like the Van Spike. The coining of Van Spike now is our guy. Ben, the sausage guy, is using Van Spike with his promo code for register sausage and get your 30% off. And I think that's cashing out. It's kind of unfortunate because I don't think it's the kid's fault. It's probably the coach's fault. But hey, it goes with his name. So there you go.
So, there's a lot to comprehend and contemplate and to take in after a win like this that we're all so excited about. I'm not going to break it down tonight. I'm a little loosey-goosey tonight. I feel good, man. I feel really good. We can answer questions. I'm not going to be an asshole to our listeners. I'm not going to be a prick.
That was the best thing about that win. Like all the Sunday Smash people, like the people that watch the Smash, were sitting there going, Jeff's not going to scream at us this week. They won a game.
Jeff's not going to tell us to go fuck ourselves this week. Yeah. It's true. But But first of all, really quickly again, I know I probably did it, and I may have failed to do it properly. Chris, if you're watching, man, thanks, brother. It was good to see you. And Chris comes in, like I said, every year from California. He picks one game, and he came to this one, and he dropped off stuff. He loves the Warchant crew. He loves Florida State, obviously, first and foremost. He loves the Jeff Cameron show. He loves Tom Wayne. He loves everybody, and he just is so kind. And he brought this Dos Artes. Now, he brought this to the CP when Corey and I were doing the Warchant, the 5 hour, the happy hour. And he brought it up, and he gave it to me, and he said, listen, if we win, I want you to drink this. Now, he's got no financial backing in Dos Artes, and neither do I, so it may seem that way, right? But, God damn, this is wonderful. So, here we are.
I also have no backing in Don Julio. But if I did, I would not be any richer than I am today, I don't think. But, hey, man, people are talking about the 4th and 14 play. How is that? Is it equal to the Dominic Robinson, Chris Ricks 4th and 14?
I don't know. Maybe in due time. There's a weird thing about that with Chris Ricks. I saw you tweeted that out, Ira, and I think Chris Ricks and I have a weird relationship. So there's a weird background to this that people don't know about. I ripped that kid for a long time, and I think for good reason.
Right. I want to hear where you're going with this.
All right. So
sit back and listen.
All right. So listen, I said a lot of things about Chris Ricks in his time here. I don't regret most of them. I don't. But years later, I ran into a mutual friend, oddly enough, who defended Chris, and Chris didn't hate me, but he kind of, I think he was frustrated by me.
He was aware of what was being said.
Yeah, sure. That's the best way to put it. So one of the things that I always said was that play, which leads to obviously the PK Sam play, is one of the great plays in FSU history. I mean, it's an unbelievable play because it was highly unlikely,
right?
Given both recipients, the quarterback and the receiver. It was highly unlikely that either one of those two guys were going to make that play.
And for it to be over the middle, because they never successfully threw the ball over the middle.
Ira, ever. And believe me, I brought it up. And it used to drive me nuts. And so that happened in the biggest moment of their careers. And then the PK Sam play happens, and he's controversial amongst Florida State fan base as well. So for a lot of reasons post his career.
Ryan.
What's up, Ryan?
What is going on, my man?
My bald head says hello.
I think Ryan wants another Dos Artes shot.
Let's do it. Let's do another Ryan Dos. Here we go. Dos Artes is feeling good. So the funny thing is that Ricks and I have always had this. Thank you, Eric. Oh man, people are feeling it tonight. So are we. So
we'll get back to the dance on the logo, Eric. Good point.
We will. Here's what's funny is you were out there, Ira. You were out there as well. So we went out to California for the Florida State National Championship victory over Auburn. And I'm walking into the Rose Bowl, the greatest venue in sport.
Right.
And I'm walking in, and there's Chris Ricks. And we catch eyes. And neither of us know what to say. It's just kind of this fuck you. And we don't even know what to do. We're just staring at each other. And he is dressed to the nines. I mean, that's what Chris does, right? I mean, he's dressed to the nines, and he's got his poofinated hair, and he's doing his moose shit. And there they are. And I wanted to walk up.
Remember in the season that year, the ESPN season?
Chris Ricks quarterback, baby.
You were in. No, but you were in the ESPN thing, and when they did the cribs thing, and they went to everybody's John Brockmiller coming strong with almost a case dollar. They went to his room, and he held up the like the hair gel. Like he had to show them his hair gel.
Oh, of course he did.
Of
course he
did.
The move. Yeah, so the poofinated hair, right? So he had. Well, I wish I could poof my hair.
And nobody uses more product than me, buddy.
Yeah. So I wish I could. I wish I could do it. But so he. Yeah, man, his gel and all the bullshit and the card and everything. So so I should leave this alone because listen, whatever. But it was funny. We saw each other, and I really felt like there was a moment where both of us wanted to walk towards each other and hug.
Well, that's the thing, man. That's the thing about time, and and it's funny because Gene and I were talking about this because somebody made this suggestion on social media that I think is a good suggestion. Get Chris Ricks and Dominic Robinson to talk about this 4th and 14 and watching it and what it was like, and because it was just as improbable. It was the same exact play, basically. It was like a 4th and 14. They ran a square in. And again, also just as unlikely that Andrew Parchment and Jordan Travis complete that pass. And I mentioned it to Gene, and Gene would be the perfect one to do it because Gene covered both of them from recruitment through. I mean, I was here, you were here, we were both here, we covered them, but Gene was here like when they were being recruited. So I suggested it, and Gene's like, I don't know, man. Like people still kind of get feeling some kind of way about Chris Ricks. But I think time has changed all that, man. If you watch on social media, he's cool. I mean, he's cool with people. Yeah. People are cool with him. And no, I'm saying like that's the thing about time is, unless you keep, I really think people are cool, especially also because, to the point you made, like some of the stuff you said about Chris Ricks wasn't all Chris Ricks' fault.
Sure.
He wasn't the offensive coordinator. He was
not.
If Florida State,
I think everybody knows how I felt about that offensive coordinator.
But if Florida State had everybody, if Florida State was a well-run, if it was the same coaching staff from before, Amato and Richt and all those, Gladden retired and all those guys left, maybe they handle that situation better. Maybe
I think you're right.
Assimilates better. So anyway, getting off topic, but the point is, very incredible play, the 4th and 14. Hold
on, Ira. Hold on.
Right.
Time out. Jeremy writes, salute to our Noles, and I'd like to wish Miami a hearty and heartfelt suck it. Go Noles and go awesome Warchant staff.
Thank
you, Jeremy. We appreciate your contribution. Hey, listen, guys. You guys are whooping ass tonight. Here we go. Let's keep this bitch rolling. Now, back to this for a second. You were about to say something, Ira, and I cut you off.
Just that, how improbable it was. You forget about the play, 2 plays. Was it 2 plays before the 4th and 14 where should have been pass interference? And
he got his arm there. Yeah.
The refs don't call anything. So now you're in this 4th and 14 situation. I don't know, man. Did you think they had a chance of completing that? I mean, at that point, are you thinking there's any chance?
Well, I thought the best chance they had was a busted play. So that kind of tells you what I think about in general their offense. Although that's not a shot. I mean, they really actually did amazing things on this night. They have all year long. I don't want to get into. Listen, it's kind of weird because on the one hand, I'm so proud of Jordan Travis for the game that he had on this night and that he's had all year long, because people think I hate that kid. And, on the one hand, people think Corey Clark thinks he's Joe Montana. And on the other hand, that I think he's name your bad quarterback. Neither is true, I don't think. I don't think Corey thinks he's Joe Montana, and I don't think he's the worst quarterback to ever play football. I just think he's limited with a long way to go, but I like him. I mean, he's tough. He's you're rooting for him, and he's also the best option we have. And so, he picked a hell of a time to have one of his best games ever. Secondly, on that play, I thought, honestly, I thought we would not run a traditional play. I thought we would roll him out and just be like, okay, if it's there, throw it. If it's not, fucking run, because you're special in the run. The fact that it's basically a drop back dig, Ira, it's basically it's a real play.
Yes.
It's an honest play, and he throws the ball in rhythm.
in
That's actually
anticipation. He throws it before Parchment really comes out of his brace.
Correct. Ira, it's the biggest moment of his career.
Right.
It is clearly the biggest moment of his career because it's a real play. It's a football play. It's not bullshit. And it's 1, 2, 3, here I go on it. And by the way, Ira, let's be honest. It's Sunday Smash. Let's have a conversation. Fucking Parchment actually runs a real route and makes a play? Are you kidding me? That is unreal. So good for that kid. Good for those two kids. Good for that moment. Everything about it works out perfectly. It's all beautiful. And it even works out better that he didn't get in.
Oh my gosh. It was exactly perfect. Yeah. No, and how about this? This is something I know we didn't write about, and I don't know how many people have talked about it. The punt before that drive. I think it's Pokey Wilson's back there and lets it bounce because Florida State punt returners.
That's what the fuck we do. Yeah.
Everybody lets everybody. But Miami's got two dudes right there. For some reason, neither one of them goes back. They just assume Pokey's going to catch it. So they're waiting to hit him.
Yeah, because most guys do, Ira.
Well, because most teams that they watch try to catch punts, but not these guys. So the ball bounces, and if either Miami guy had gone back 10 yards, they could have downed it at the 1. And who knows what the hell happens. You got 2 minutes to go from your 1. It could have bounced a million different ways. It could have bounced sideways, then they down it. It could have bounced his back.
Right.
But it perfectly went into the end zone. You get at the 20-yard line. Then Ja'Kai Douglas happens for 60 yards. I mean, really, it's such a weird game because on the one hand, when you look at what happened in the last 10 minutes or the last 2 minutes, you feel like, man, Florida State stole it. But on the other hand, Florida State was the better team for 2.5 quarters.
So it's a weird game because I thought Miami's athletes were starting to take over the game. They have a better roster than Florida State. So it looked like they were going to take over the game, and they did for a while there. I actually so Ryan brought it up here on the, first of all, MSIN, thank you so much. I thought Norvell made good play calling decisions tonight. I also thought it was ironic that as much as we talk about JT's legs, we won the game with his arm. Yeah, no, we appreciate that.
And you know what, real quick, I know you got to continue, but so I think he was like 16 for 22, but the Jordan Young drop would have gone for about 40 yards. The pass where Parchment stops running, that might have been a 70, 60.
Well, it's a fucking touchdown if he, he's got to make one guy miss if he catches. Yeah.
So, I mean, it could have been an enormous, it was a huge day for Jordan Travis as a passer. It could have been unbelievable. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Listen, I've gone back and watched that. I'm going to watch it again tomorrow morning before I do my show. So a couple people pointing some things out here. I want to go back to this. The continuity that they want to keep on the staff, I think, was earned last night. I really do. That they're not firing anybody. Now, I suppose if by the way, BC is now moving the ball again because, of course, that fucking kid came back.
Well, but I will say this: they did it against Georgia Tech. I mean, I'm not.
But I'm saying he is good. He's actually good.
He is good. I got you. But again,
I know.
Miami racked up I don't know how many yards against Georgia Tech. So
no, that's fair. That's fair. But I do worry that they actually get a guy now who can make plays. So we'll see because they got to bounce back now and show that there's consistency. There's a chance for them to go up there and win a game. By the way, that would be a big fucking deal. Like to go up there and win that game would be a big deal off of the emotional high of this.
Right.
To buckle up and soldier on and play well and go win that game. By the way, if you win that game, you're one game away from qualifying for a bowl.
Don't you think this game's almost bigger than Florida? Because
in a weird, because
because I think if you lose it, it diminishes what you did at Miami. If you win it, if you go on the road and beat Boston College, not that they're a great team, but you go on the road, it's going to be 40 degrees. If you go over there and win that game on top of this game, you stack a couple wins together. That, I think, propels you probably to beating Florida or having a better chance of beating Florida. If you go up there and lose this game, man, it just diminishes a lot. I don't know that you come back from that and beat Florida. So anyway, I just think this is a huge game, and this is really I guess Vegas has BC as a 3-point favorite, which means they basically think it's a pick 'em. But it's a huge game, man. If they can get back up again.
Do you know how by the way, we're watching highlights of the game right here. There's Akeem Dent like hitting.
That hit was huge.
Yeah. So by the way, I'm going to continue to point this out. Fuller did a great job. Adam Fuller did that defense was prepared, Ira.
Right.
They triggered. They were good, man. They were good.
That's what I was thinking in the first quarter. I'm like, have you guys been prepping for Miami for the last 3 weeks?
I mean, they were ready. I mean, how many times did they trigger downhill and just hit a bitch? I mean, they were nasty. First of all, also, we found ourselves a star at corner.
Oh, yeah, Marion Cooper.
Dude, you got yourself a baller. Got yourself a player. That guy is so full of fuck you. I love him. I love how angry he was. Scheme-wise, this was a really well done. I mean, they did a good – I don't want to say he saved his job, but he kind of –
solidified it. You definitely, for sure.
Yeah.
I think – and again – one of the things I haven't posted my 3-2-1 column yet. I'll probably be up late tonight, but one of the things I'm talking about is kind of the defense for the future. And, I get it. I know people are concerned about Jermaine Johnson being a one-year guy is great. And we'll get back to him because he was a man.
Well, he's a freak. Yeah.
Kier Thomas is a one-year guy, so he'll be leaving. Jamie Robinson's here. We don't know how long Fabian Levitt's going to be here. So I get all that, but you have to love some of the guys that they've signed since they've been here. Amarian Cooper is I mean, they started him at corner against Miami.
He's a stud.
Start. Yeah.
Hey, by the way, starting 2 freshmen, like, suck it. Like, here we go. Here we go.
And Kevin Noles, the other slot corner.
Yeah.
And, those kids are going to be really good. Again, we haven't seen Shaheem Brown a lot. We talked a lot about him in preseason camp because I think safety's tough to play for a freshman. Plus, they're playing pretty well back there, especially Jamie Robinson. So he isn't getting to play a lot. But I was talking to somebody on the staff this week who, again, said he may be the guy. Like, at some point, because of what he is physically and his personality, he may end up being the best of all of them. So you got him. That's 3 freshmen in this class that are going to be big-time players, a corner or a defensive back. I like Patrick Payton. I like Josh Farmer. There's a lot of one kid, the Byron Turner, who had surgery. He's not available. They love him at defensive end. This class on defense, I think, has a chance in a couple of years to be a really special class on defense, which is huge.
And also kind of surprising because if you consider it's a COVID class and you consider that the year before, they have but 2 weeks to sign people. So, most of the time when you look around the country, these kinds of coaches that come in have really had a hard time. I would say that, this group that they're about to sign is a difference maker forevermore. I mean, it's a Jimbo Fisher type class, LaMarcus Joyner type class. We'll see. But they're coaching them up. Those kids care. By the way, a lot of you are angry on the chat about my cursing. Hey, look, guys, it says no, not safe for work right there on the top. I'm sorry. Maybe I should reconsider. Maybe I'll slow my roll on the cursing, but when you're coming in, we just beat fucking Miami. So, I'm just saying, like, buck up, soldiers. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry. But that said, Ira, the post-game interviews last night, did you notice that Coach Norvell, there were a couple times where I thought he was, and I don't mean this as a knock at all. I think there were a couple times he was close to crying. Like when he talked about how proud he was of those kids, you could tell he was having to gather himself. Man, that means a lot to me. As a Florida State fan and alumnus, I'm going to tell you right now, it means a lot to hear him talk about the hard work they put in and what it means to them and what it means to him. That's what you run through a wall for. That's why you do it, right? Listen, it is what it is, but you could tell he cares deeply and he's got those kids committed, man. And they obviously fought, and they've done that all year long. It's
really remarkable when you think about the amalgamation of players on this football team. And somebody brought up to me, I was talking to a friend of mine who doesn't follow it as closely as we do, or certainly a lot of the fans that are on our website or listen to your show every day. And he was saying, he looked at the senior class, like the group of seniors, and he was like, how is that like your senior class? And then we started talking about the roster, and I was like, look, man, and I think we brought this up over the last couple of weeks, especially after losses. When Jimbo bounced, that last class was bad. Willie signs a transition class, and then his next full class, the one he was here for a year to sign, was really an empty class as well, because he went out, and there's a couple guys who are left, and that's, maybe they contribute. But for the most part, he went out. Willie's big mistake that first full recruiting class he had was he thought he was going to be able to sign the Kayvon Thibodeau and all these big-time five-star guys. So they spent all this time recruiting those guys, but they ended up not being able to sign any of them because they stunk in 2019. So he ended up having to sign a bunch of guys kind of on without really evaluating them. It's kind of last minute, hey, what can we get? So you had another bad class. Then Mike Norvell comes in, like you said, and has 2 weeks to put together the class, just like Willie did his first year. So it's just been, you've had 3 or 4 years there where you weren't getting what you need to build this program. So you have so what you have though these last 18 months is you got Norvell's players, and then you've got transfers. And there's a few older guys who are still around, the Robert Coopers who are doing everything they can, Bavion Johnson, Brady Scott. They're guys who are still here and bought in, but it's a small group. The vast majority of this team is young kids and transfers, but they've found a way to get those kids all to really love each other and play hard for each other. And we've been seeing it all season, even though the wins weren't there. That's pretty cool, man. And it gives you an idea of what could they do if you had a group of kids for 3 years together, where they've been through shared experiences and they love, they really have that love of each other. If say Jermaine Johnson, somebody like that, had been in this program for 2 or 3 years, or Keir Thomas or Jamie Robinson, if they've been in it for 2 or 3 years as opposed to just 1 year, I mean, it could be really cool.
I was so proud watching those guys. The end of that with the Jermaine Johnson hammer, I was so happy. Ira, I'm going to bring this back up, and you make good points, all of them. Like, where does Jermaine Johnson rank in
That's
beloved?
a great question.
I mean, I'm telling you right now, this guy. I don't wear jerseys because I'm 50, but
I hear you. I know exactly what you're thinking. Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, I'm wearing a Jermaine Johnson jersey for the next 5 years. That guy changed. And Ira, I know I've brought this up a lot, and so it's probably annoying to people, but I was very, very fortunate. I worked at the previous place that I worked at, and they invited me in. I got a chance to coach on the sidelines and to listen to the headset and to watch the interaction with players. And I got a chance to go out to Mike's house and watch the interaction with the players, with his family. Gene Deckeroff, the legend, was there. He had other media there, but I was there. And that night I met Jermaine Johnson, and we sat down. I was eating pulled chicken. He was eating pulled pork, and we were just hanging out. And I asked him, why you would choose Florida State, but his thoughtful answer, the way he considered talking, I said to him, hey, I'm a member of the media. Say what you want to say, but listen, this is off the record. I just want to talk. And I don't think I'm giving up the goods here. He just was so insightful, so intelligent, so interesting of a person. Right. And what I mean by that is he took time to answer the questions, but also he kept talking about Mike Norvell. Now, listen, Mike, there are no heroes in this world. We're all terribly flawed people. But you just want to know that somebody has a vision that other people buy into. You just want to know that there's somebody has a great work ethic. He said, listen, I could have gone anywhere, but that guy convinced me. And one of the things that he talked about was how hard Norvell told him he was going to make him work.
Right.
And that he kept telling him, Mike has said this before, but I think it's true. But he also said, I need your leadership. I need you to teach these kids how to work. I need you to show them how to prepare every day. Well, man, it's one thing to say that. It's one thing for a kid to say, okay, I'll do that. But I mean, look at this kid. He's a first-team All-American. He's going to leave here as one of the most prolific and dominant players on defense. And this is a place that's had a lot of them. So I just can't say enough about Jermaine Johnson. And Mike Norvell for that matter, but Jermaine Johnson.
Two things. Yeah, I'm with you 100%. Two things I'd say. One is it's really hard to win awards, postseason awards, if you're not really good the year before. Like if you're not on those watch lists,
right.
When you're a junior, you're probably not going to. No matter what you do as a senior, it's kind of hard to get on there. But man, what he has done, he's going to break the mold. I mean, he wasn't on a lot of those lists before the season. He had 5 sacks last year at Georgia. He didn't have any sacks really the year before. He was a part-time starter.
Yeah.
On a great defense, on a phenomenal defense, but he wasn't the guy. So he wasn't on a lot of those lists. I remember Rivals, the company we were affiliated with, put out a list of like the top transfers in the country. He wasn't high on any of those lists. Nobody was really talking about Jermaine Johnson except us here. Like, hey, could this be the guy? And even we were checking ourselves like, I don't know, man. He's not going to put up DeMarcus Walker numbers. He's not. Let's just slow a roll. Well, shit, man. He's blown everything out of the water.
He's unreal.
And on top of that, to your other point, the most impressive thing to me, and I asked him about it after the game, was before Miami's drive, when Florida State cut it to 28-23, and the defense had to go back out there to try to get a stop. Jermaine Johnson, oh man, Willie Johnson, what are you doing? Thanks,
Fucking
Willie.
Hey, Willie, we shall, baby. You ready? Cheers right now.
I'm sticking with the red stripe. It goes down a little smoother than the Don Julio. If I was with the Dos Artes, I would do it, Willie.
Hey, Willie, to you, this is the Dos Artes, baby. Do this thing. Holy shit.
You're right, Jeremy. You're 100% right. Jermaine Johnson and, man, Mike Norvell brought to ACC Media Days, as Jeremy said. But the other thing was, so Florida State kicks a field goal, cut it to 28-23.
So, by the way, hey, Ira, let's do this. Let's do this thing. Okay, you ready? So this is so fun. And I just totally interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, we're fine.
But I love this, dude. So think about Mike decides to take the air out of the ball. He decides, I'm going to shorten the game because we're exhausted on defense. We're tired. We can't get stops. I'm going to shorten the game in the hopes that I get down here and score a touchdown, go for 2 and tie it up, and we'll play for overtime. That's basically like the idea behind the methodical drive is to shorten the game. He does not want to get Miami the ball back. So at 4, whatever it is, he kicks that field goal. At that point, you have decided that I totally trust Adam Fuller. I totally trust this defense. I totally trust these kids who played their ass off tonight, and they've given us 21 straight, right?
And this crowd.
And this crowd.
That was a factor.
Yeah. And we're going to get a goddamn stop. We're going to make a play. When you watch the backside hustle from Jermaine on that throw to get him down, to make it 4th and 2, Ira, instead of 4th and 1, because if 4th and 1, they go for it. And who knows what happens, right? Yeah. So thank you, Derek. Everything about this is trust in the process. Everything about this is trust in your players. Everything about this is trust in the program and trust in the fans. Trust in everything, right? It's all there. He's like, fuck it. We're gonna get a stop, and we're gonna get the ball back, and we're gonna drive. Now, listen, a couple things. Once again, you don't catch the fucking punt. So if that ball is down on the 1, you lose. Yeah, you lose.
They got a little bit lucky there.
They got really lucky. Yeah. It goes into the end zone. But once it does, and then you hit the shot play, it's game on, and all of a sudden you put Miami fans, Miami players in the same position, this unenviable position of like having to deal with the stress of, oh, shit, we're going to blow this. Yes, you are, bitch. You are going to blow this. And it's so beautiful. And so how big is that for all of those kids, but also how big is that for Mike Norvell with this fan base? I'm asking all of you guys out there. You know damn well what he just did there. He shortened the game, lessened possessions, and said, fuck it, I'm rolling the dice. I'm going to get the ball twice. I think we're going to score twice, and we're going to win. Holy shit.
Well,
that happened.
Yeah, and I think that they knew as well as the defense played in the first quarter, most of the first half, Miami was going to come out and get some stuff going. I mean, they have too many good weapons on that offense. Van Dyke is going to be a big time quarterback. I mean, he got rattled, I think, by the crowd, the pass rush, the defense. I mean, I think he didn't look good in the first half. He's going to be a big time quarterback. So you knew he was going to make some plays. Mallory's a really good tight end. Knighton is a great running back that they shut down in the running game, which was really impressive.
Right.
So I think from Mike Norvell's standpoint, man, once Miami started getting it rolling, they got that ridiculous deflected pass touchdown. That's exactly what you don't want to have happen, because now they're going to get some confidence and they're going to start making plays. So that's why, to your point, he's thinking, man, I got to shorten this game and I've got to let my defense make a play, make a stop. And man, did they ever come through. But what's remarkable, though, is, well, real quick, on Jermaine Johnson's stop there, if he tackles, how many times do you see people tackle people going forward? Like, guys will be at a yard or 2 yards short of the first down marker, and somebody will hit them from behind and drive them forward. I honestly believe Jermaine Johnson purposely hit him that hard from the side because he wanted to make sure there was no more progress forward.
Yeah.
That this is where you're getting. You're not getting. He couldn't get in front of him to push it back, but you're not going any further.
Right here.
Listen, if you guys haven't watched that play, as Jeff said, he's on the left side at defensive end. The pass is to the other side. He comes down the line and cleans it up, but not only just cleans it up, but drives him straight so he can't get any extra yards. It was a huge play.
It's a huge play, and it's the stuff of legend. It's the kind of thing that will cement him forevermore. I'm gushing over Jermaine Johnson. I have all year long, but I really am right now, because that guy right there. I mean, if you're a Miami fan, you're like, fuck that guy. I mean, that guy cost us the game.
And I look back at the 62, the right tackle. I look back at his PFF grades from the season. He's a pretty good offensive. He's better than any. If you look at his PFF grades, they're better than anybody FSU puts out there. And Jermaine just torched that dude over and over and again.
Oh, so I don't know if you saw this, Ira, and you're the king of the sideline and watching the whole deal. So I got to tell you something that blows me away. So I went to this game with my father. Sorry.
That's good. That's good. I saw the picture. You and Bryce and
Bryce and Clark.
Clark there too. I don't know. I saw Bryce and your dad.
Yeah. So I went with Bryce and Clark. Those are my two boys. For those watching, one just turned 14. The other's 11. They've been going with their granddad to these games this year. If I'm not careful, I'll get emotional. My dad's taken them to every game. And so my dad came to town and I said, well, I'll go with you to this game. We'll all go together. And I wasn't going to do any media bullshit. And it was just going to be us as Noles, like, come to the game. Let's cheer on the Noles, right? So my dad's got these great tickets because he's been coming to games for 40 years. So we're on the 40-yard line, or 45, thereabouts. And we were there, this whole moment, the whole big thing. There we are watching the game. It was so cool watching that game. You all right? Oh, sorry. My wife's like, the fucking controller's over here.
Stop interrupting this heartfelt story about you and your dad watching a football game. I'm really trying to relate to this story.
She's laughing. So we have this moment in this game. I don't know where I was going with this, but other than, like, the way this thing played out, the way that you hang in there and you hold out hope, and you've been through the worst of worst and all that stuff. We watched every moment. In the Jermaine Johnson play, by the way, and I guess I'm going to go back to that. My dad turned to me and said, "Who does that?"
Right.
And he's been coming to games for 40-something years. And I don't know if that was where I originally was going.
But I want to ride that for a second, because somebody made a post on the Tribal Council today on our message boards, and I thought it was a great point. And this guy just said, or lady, I didn't pay attention to who it was, but they said they forgot how much fun this is. and to your point, your dad has seen it all. He's seen it at Florida State at its lowest and its highest and everything in between. And these last 5 years have sucked. And it's hard. We have to talk about this team. We have to write about this team. We cover this team. We cover this program. But the fans, this is their escape. This is their time away from work and their responsibilities and everything else. And then you come and you spend all this money and you invest and you come to the games and then the team stinks or it doesn't play hard. And that's just awful. And it's hard so that's why we can't, criticize when fans don't come. But to have a night like that, man, Doak was awesome. You were out there. I'm in the press box. It's hard to tell, but I could tell. Doak was awesome last night. The team plays so hard. It did remind you again of, man, how much fun this can be when you have a program that you're really proud of.
Yeah, man. And the people around me, they were so loud. They were so crazy. They were so fun. And they got rewarded because they're so passionate and they care. And I've been hard on our fans for a lot of reasons. But no, it was incredible. And it was fun. I stayed in the stadium after the game and watched the players celebrate with the fans. And, I had a chance to talk to Norvell later on. And I could tell how proud he was. So bottom line is, I think the program's going in the right direction. I think this team is, they're not good. It's not a good football team, but they play with a lot of heart.
They looked good in the first half, buddy.
Yeah, they did.
Hey, Matthew, can you put up Jeff Corcoran's comment there? I thought it was pretty funny. And it's touched on something else I want to bring up.
Brought my family in from Baton Rouge. Trip going to end up costing me tens of thousands of dollars because my daughter is sold on attending FSU. There it is.
But the corollary to that is in recruiting. And I was texting with an FSU administrator last night about, Corey made this point a few weeks ago. He went to watch Georgia play, and he was saying, Georgia was number one in the country. He went to the game when Georgia played Kentucky. FSU was off. And he's like, Georgia's number one in the country. They're playing a top 10, 15 team in Kentucky. And you go to the game, it's just not the same as Doak when Doak is good. You don't have Osceola and Renegade. You don't have the marching chiefs. You don't have the chant. You don't have it's just different. And so when Florida State is right in that Doak is right, and you have a game like that, think about those recruits that were there, man.
It's huge, yeah.
And they don't get that at any other. These other schools have better facilities. Florida State needs to improve their facilities. These other schools have the football facilities and the slides and the barbershops and the recording studios and all this other stuff. But none of them have what Doak is when Doak is rocking like that. I mean, really, they might get loud, but there's something special about it. And so those recruits, I think they're gonna clean up on this class.
Do you really?
I really do.
I don't know. You're floating that shit out there, buddy.
That's not based on just information. I'm just saying the kids that were still in it with Florida State through 3 and 6, but they came twice this year. They came to Notre Dame, and then they came to that. Man, I mean, we'll see. But I think this class could be really, really cool.
Well, and I will tell you this. Again, it felt so good. I've done it a few times this year. I've spent less time in the press box this year, just for people out there, than ever before. Oh, Jay, man, goodness gracious. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Jay. Thanks, Jay. I've spent more I've been very fortunate to get hired by Warchant.com. I mean that, to work with my friends, to work with these guys that are great professionals and smart and so fun. And we're all allowed to do what we do. We all have different roles. And, and like Ira's a writer, he's a supreme writer, and he does a good job with the videos we do. And I do my radio show, and Tom's a jack of all trades. And we just have so many talented people. But this year has afforded me the opportunity in a weird way to just go be a fan.
Right.
And I've never had that opportunity in the last 23 years. I've always just had to work as media, and I don't say that in a bad way. It's just like that's been my role. But this year I've gone because I'm not required on game day other than the morning game day show, Tallahassee Game Day, which is great, and we appreciate you all watching. But when I'm done with Tallahassee Game Day, it ends at 11. And I'm not required to do anything else other than – watch the game, of course, and break it down the best way I can. So it's given me more time with my dad and my kids at a time where they're really excited about it. And we've gone to game. Yeah. I'm just fucking you guys over. But the point is, I've watched the investment of the fans and the dismay and the frustration, but also the hope, all that's been there. And it's been so awesome. I mean, last night was the culmination of that investment. Like watching those guys, man, and seeing my dad like, hey, we've got something. I'm like, yes, we've got something. We do have something. And I think that's true. I think Florida State and Mike Norvell have something going on. I think they've got something on in recruiting. It's helped a lot that Florida has shit the bed. It's helped a lot that Miami is what they are, useless for the last 20 years. I think Florida State's in a potential position, if they can secure this class, if God forbid you follow it up with a 7 or 8 win season next year and you secure another good class, oh, buddy, Katie barred the door. Let's go.
I mean, that's it, man. I mean, I don't know. Again, I said this last week when we did the Warchant report. I like that quarterback and I like some of the talent Miami has, but I don't believe, not only do I not believe that Manny's going to be the guy, I also don't believe that they believe it. And so, and then you look at that game, man, they made so many bad decisions in that game that helped Florida State get back in it. Because, I mean, Miami had the better team.
They're a better team, by far.
Florida State jumped on them, made some plays, got that lead, but Miami was a better team, and they took over the game, and they let Florida State come back and win it. But, I mean, from the sloppiness, the dumb penalties, the time management decisions he made, there's so many things that if you're a Miami fan, you're outraged right now. So we'll see what happens with that situation. With Florida, I mean, that game, I mean, it's an unbelievable embarrassment.
42 points in the first half, Ira. Were you?
It's unbelievable.
Well, the thing is, I don't know. I mean, will they play? Because they are playing on one side of the ball. They do care.
Oh, yeah. Well, offensive guys, I've always said this. Offensive guys always want to score. Yeah. It's whether or not your defensive guys actually want to play and be defensive guys. And so we'll see, man. That game's going to be awesome. I don't think any of us really thought before the season that was a game that was winnable. And, they may not win it. But
the problem is the next game's the problem.
Right.
BC got the quarterback back. He's throwing the ball around the lot. I know what you said earlier.
Yeah.
He can actually play. That's a fucking problem. Like they're well coached.
And he can run. He's smart. Yeah. No,
and you're coming off this emotion, so you wonder, like, was this the mountain? I mean, you got to show up next week and be buttoned up and play well because BC will beat you. I actually think with that quarterback, they're good. They're going to make plays. So it's not like Florida State can't win the game, of course, but they'll be underdogs again. Be underdogs again. So it'll be huge. If they get that win, can you imagine, Ira, walking into the stadium against the University of Florida and you're one game away from being bowl eligible and they hate the doofus that is their used car salesman of a coach? Like, imagine, like, you walk in there going, no, fuck you, and they have something to play for? I mean, I think Florida fans are already thinking to themselves, shit, this is a problem. This is a problem.
If you lose to if you look at what Florida State has been over these last few years, I mean, it's I'm sure they thought it's going to be 10 years before Florida State kind of turns this around. And maybe it will be a few more years before they get to where they need to get to. But yeah, man, to show that they're a threat, and it would be the ultimate. It would be like when Ron Zook won here the day Bobby Bowden Field was named after Bobby Bowden. I mean, it was appalling as a Florida State fan to see that. That's how they would feel if Florida State comes in there the year after going 3-6 and being 0-4 to start the season with a loss to Jacksonville State. So, man, it would be a great way to end the season without question.
So Tom writes, BC's in trouble, Jeff. We're riding this all the way to a bowl. It could be. That's actually something that's true too. This wave of confidence and belief and fuck you that is in existence, it's possible. Florida State could walk out there on Saturday. We'll see. It's going to be important that they do. If they can get their minds right collectively, I do think Florida State could ride this wave all the way to the end of the year and win these two games. I do. And if this team goes 6-6 and goes to a bowl, are you kidding me? After an 0-4 start, Ira? I mean, buddy, you got something. Hey, how much fun is it going to be for us when we cover the spring next year? I mean, like, this will be nuts.
Well, that game was huge for a lot of reasons. It was huge for these players. It was huge for the fans. It was huge for Mike Norvell. It was also huge for us because if they had gone into this postseason having lost, 5 straight games and been 3-9, man, it just would have been hard to write about this team. Even no matter what the coaches would say, people would have a hard time believing it. So this is good, man. It's really good. I think it's people can see the progress. People like the way this team competes. It would be awesome if they can get 1 or 2 more of these wins, carry that into the offseason, and give people a reason. Again, like we said earlier, this is fun. Like, there is a reason you became a college football fan and a Florida State fan. It is a lot of fun when things are trending in the right direction, and I think that was a taste of what it can be. You do some prize picks?
Oh, shit. Sorry, prize picks. Here we go. I did take – what was the over? I got to pull this up. I'm so bad at this, guys. Sorry, I've been drinking tequila. There it is. I love prize picks. Make sure you use the code Warchant. 100% deposit match is a big deal, by the way. So make sure you do that. So what'd you take, Ira? What'd you take?
Well, I mean, I haven't gotten off to the greatest start so far in my prize picks career. I'll be honest with you. But I feel like it's turning around. I feel like the big FSU win yesterday. So yeah, I mean, I got two entries tonight. Well, 2 players that I've got entries on tonight. I'm going Mahomes over the 280.5. I feel like the Raiders. I'm a little bit. I'm skeptical of the Raiders. I feel like all the drama. I feel like Mahomes is going to come through, and he hasn't really. I don't think he's thrown for over 280 yards in the last few games. But I feel like tonight is the night he's going to go over. And then I also took one of the receivers. I think I took Hunter Renfrow for the Raiders to go under 50. I think he was 56.5 yards. So I took him under. I'm fading. I'm liking the Chiefs. I'm fading the Raiders. I've got those 2. I'm only betting $10. I'm slowing my roll. I'm slow. My bankroll is taking a couple of hits here in the first couple of weeks of prize picks. So I'm slowing my roll. I'm not going to win
scroll down. Matthew, scroll down.
I'm not going to win a lot here, but
scroll down. Scroll down. I actually took Josh Jacobs over 16 receiving yards there. So go ahead and hit that thing right there. I got him at 17, 18 receiving yards. I'm going to do that. By the way, over here on your far left, scroll down. So guys, if you're out there, and by the way, Prize Picks is awesome. You see that 37.5 receiving yards from Bryan Edwards? Yeah, fuck him. You know how many yards he had the last 2 weeks? 0, bitch ass Bryan Edwards. We're going to take 0 from Bryan Edwards.
You didn't
under. As Matthew puts it, that's an under. I said bitch ass, no yards. Thanks for the last 2 weeks, Bryan Edwards.
You didn't make any Prize Picks entries before the Bucks game today, did you? You didn't.
No, actually, the way that game started, I started laughing. I was like, okay, so the Bucks going to lose today, so that's going to happen, and that's what a Florida State Miami game does for you, folks. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It didn't even bother me that we lost to Florida in basketball for the first time in a decade.
You know what? Who also was not bothered by anything? I watched Jimbo's press conference last night after he lost at Ole Miss.
He's not bothered.
Dude, when you got $90 million in the bank, it's amazing how well you take these losses.
He's like, oh well. So
literally, he smiles like 10 times in this press conference.
Does he really?
Like, oh yeah, he's like, that's just what happens. Sometimes because people are asking about Ole Miss's tempo, and he's like, oh yeah. That's the thing with those offenses. If they don't get on a roll, it gets that bad. But if they get on a roll, that's what can happen. Yeah, it's crazy.
Thanks, Jimbo. Yeah. I'm sure the people that are forking over the money that they could never even miss feel real good about him just going, what are you doing? So by the way, Jimbo's lost to Mississippi State and Ole Miss in the same year.
How much do those 2 losses? You would again, the old Jimbo. You would think it would drive him nuts, especially those offensive styles. But Yeah, there you go. There's a Dazio. But yeah,
that's
man,
my take on Brian Edwards. Suck ass.
It's like, man, it's the thing. It's like artists with albums. Like once they get rich, it's like, man,
Oh yeah.
how much they really pour in themselves into.
So I've got 7 straight records of multi-platinum performances. You don't like this new record? Go fuck yourself.
Exactly. This one's for me.
Yeah. I'm doing this because I'm better than you.
That's where Jimbo is right now. So enjoy that, man.
Yeah, it's good. We love you guys. We're saying goodbye.
Enjoy it.
Hey, man. Okay, so cheers. Hold on. Once again, thanks to my friend Chris.
Good work, Chris.
You did it up, baby.
Here's my friend at the liquor store.
Here's to Felipe at the
who told me to drink a lemon or eat a lemon with a. Hey, Chris, Chris, you're a good guy. Felipe at the liquor store.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, have a good life.
Go Noles, everybody. We love you. Be good. Thanks for watching the Sunday Smash. Thanks to Matthew. Peace.
Thanks, Matt.